Oh, another chilly one today in Tampa, 50 degrees. I've got my iPhone app out. It says it feels like 48, so wind chill down here in Tampa, below 50 degrees as we get you ready for Super Bowl Sunday. It is going to be warmer Super Bowl Sunday, upper 60s, but rain in the forecast for Chiefs and Bucks. I'm Chris Hassel. I am joined live by Pete Prisco and Danny Cannell. We are also pleased to be joined by Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. Not a rookie anymore. Finished his first season in the NFL. Got a bunch of starts toward the end of the season. If you can't tell, he's joining us on behalf of Oikos Pro. We're going to get to that in just a moment, Jalen. But look, I think everybody's probably asking you about your new quarterback, Nick Sirianni. But I want to ask you about your new quarterback coach, Brian Johnson. How long has he known you, and what's your relationship with him?
Yeah, Coach Brian is like family. I've known him since I was 4 years old. My dad actually coached him at Baytown Lee High School. So I grew up watching him play, got a lot of love for him. And crazy how it works. He was actually recruiting me to go play at Mississippi State. When Dak left, ended up going to Alabama. Thought about going to Florida to go the second time, my second recruiting process when I was transferring. Ended up going to Oklahoma. So now it's kind of all fell into the right place, I guess. So I'm excited to be working with him.
All right, let's forget all the other questions and get to the most important one. Who's the starting quarterback on opening day for the Philadelphia Eagles?
That's a great question. I tell you that I'm putting the work in on my end, trying to build those relationships with my guys. I'm excited for this offseason, just excited to take that next step. So regardless of what's what, I'm challenging myself to, be the best quarterback I can be. Learn from my mistakes as a team, learn from our mistakes from, last year. Personally, those 4 games that I got the opportunity to get my feet wet in and, take off next year.
Jalen, don't worry about Pete. He's just trying to get you to say something that gets trending on. He just wants you to demand that you're the starter. He's just trying to do it. Jalen, you've been part of, a lot of quarterback. You've been part of a lot of quarterback competitions in both college and in the NFL. I'm curious to know, because I do think it's different in the NFL. Very much of a business type environment that's there. There's money involved. There's careers involved. Do you notice a difference in competition within a quarterback room, say when you were at Alabama or Oklahoma and then being in Philadelphia?
Well, it's always been a business in college, in the pros, and I understand that, one thing that I do and I always have done is just try and keep the right mentality. I control what I can. I've always been that way, and I always will be that way. So, the main thing I can control is my work ethic, my effort, where my head's at, the relationships I have with those around me, and just building as a man, building as a player, and, always being rooted in my faith. So.
We got some questions from some college fans for you. 3 years at Alabama. You won a national championship. Of course, you finished up at Oklahoma. Only 1 season there, though. So is it Roll Tide or Boomer Sooner for you, Jalen?
It's Roll Sooner. That's exactly how I say it right there. OU just played.
Perfect answer. Yep.
OU played Bama this past weekend, and my guy Funny Man from Alabama, he tags me and he's like, Jalen, who you got this weekend? And I'm like, I can't answer that one. But no, it's all love for both schools. To put my name in the air and cementing myself at both schools, I think is special. A lot of great talent at both schools capable of winning championships. So I'm blessed for OU and Alabama.
Jalen, in the one championship game when you got pulled out of the game and Tua went in, I sent out a tweet saying, boy, he handled that a lot better than I would have handled it. How were you feeling on the inside when that happened? Because I know any competitor, and you're clearly a competitor, it had to be burning you on the inside that they were doing that in that moment.
That question makes me want to ask you what you would have done in that moment. But
I would have been angry. I'll be honest with you. I would have been mad.
But no, it was something that happened, and it was a kind of a obviously be supportive of my teammates, and I was definitely hurting. I'm a competitor. I want to go out there and win. I look back on that game and I think about a few games where maybe I've been behind and come back and win or put ourselves in a position to do that. So, but it's a learning experience, and the thing that I value the most from that is how it impacted the youth, and kind of it really kind of shocked the world. The whole world was watching, and I tried to just handle myself with the right type of humility, be supportive, and I have a lot of love and respect for Tua, and I'm wishing him nothing but the best with his career at the Miami Dolphins.
There's no doubt you handled it with a tremendous amount of class and character, and I think people took notice. And I think it resonated with a lot of people and speaks to your character. We were talking earlier about you getting into competition in this offseason, trying to become the starting quarterback of the Eagles. Now that you've played, you've had meaningful playing time in the NFL, what do you think you need to work on specifically to win that starting job? Where do you need to improve as a quarterback at the National Football League level?
I think simply just leveling up on every part of my game. Building those relationships with the coaches we have, and seeing it from the point, or seeing it how they see it. I think that's always pivotal, and ultimately I think creating an identity, having that identity for what we want to be, how they want to go about it. So I think that's a big point for me, and I think that'll help me as well as a player. The team things will definitely help individual success.
I know one day you hope to be a part of this week as a player, but this year, your first year in the NFL, it's an incredible matchup between the Chiefs and the Bucs. Give us a prediction for us on HQ. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, it'd be a dream to play in this game, but I think Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady, and it's really hard to bet against him. The things that he's done, he's the greatest. Pat Mahomes, the young gun. I have a lot of respect for both of those guys. I got a lot of respect for Pat, being a Texas guy. So I always want to see my Texas guys succeed.
Well, the elephant in the room is over your right shoulder. Oikos Pro. Can you tell us what you're doing with Oikos?
Yeah, they have a lot of good things going, doing a lot of things within the community, helping out trainers that were affected by the virus, donating $1,000 to trainers in their respective communities. And I actually got to get with them because I like to lift, and I like to work. I'm a hard worker. I value myself on that, and they actually have a yogurt that is great for post-workouts, and it's good for me. It does me right.
That's great, Jalen Hurts. We're looking forward to seeing what you'll do under a new coaching staff, Nick Sirianni, and your good friend, Brian Johnson, who's now your quarterback coach. Thank you so much for joining us here on HQ.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.